crypto exit plan to make as much money as possible during this bull market and to sell all of your crypto as close to the top as possible. All you need to know is there is two things that you pay attention to throughout this bull market, and you're going to know exactly when to take all your money out. And I'm going to show those to you. So hit that like button and let's get into today's video. Now, guys, before I tell you about those two things, if this is your first bull market, things are about to get very exciting for you. You're probably going to start making more money in the coming weeks and months faster than you probably ever made money before in your life. And that's a very exciting prospect, but it's also one thing that trips us up and causes us to do stupid stuff as that bull market rages on. Therefore, it's appropriate to know how to get out of this market right now before the market starts to pull you in closer. Now, before I talk about these two things, there's one thing that you probably need to be aware of. If you're one of those people who's like, yeah, but give me your price prediction for Solana. Or how about your price prediction for ICP, good sir? Well, price predictions are really only good for one thing: building your ego and making you feel like a legend. Because you're like, well, I've got $1,000 in ICP right now, and if ICP can really do a 30x like everyone's telling me, then guess what? I'm going to have 30 grand. And with 30 grand, I can then go shopping for some elaborate new things, maybe a car, maybe a bald cat called Peter for $4,000, or this black cockerel for 2.5 grand. Well, whatever tickles your fancy and however you're planning on spending your money, stop that. Price predictions are really quite silly. Why? Because you probably heard everyone giving you different price predictions for different things. And your mind is telling you to listen to the biggest price prediction because that's going to mean your ego is more satisfied. And the problem with that is the biggest price prediction usually comes from the stupidest person. And that means that you're going to wait for that price prediction to come, but guess what? It's never coming. The next thing along is when people are like, well, I'm going to sell on this specific date because when that date hits, when the 3rd of June or whatever date it is hits, then I'm going to sell because that's when everyone else is going to sell. Or on this date when they list on Binance, or any particular date that is set in stone. Why? Because that specific date that you're planning on selling on might not mean anything at all, and maybe the whole market blows up before that and then sells off before that. You don't want to be fixed to a certain date. And by now you're like, okay, mate, stop giving me problems. Give me the solution. Well, luckily you've come to the right place. I'm about to give you the solution for this. And unfortunately, the solution is a little bit boring. So if you get bored by this, then don't worry, you can leave. And maybe in a year's, maybe in 6 months' time, you'll wish that you stuck around and watched it. Okay, enough of the crypto-based gaslighting. Let's get into this. So there's two things you need to know. One, what drives the market? Because if we can understand what drives the market, then we can understand when the markets are likely to go up and are likely to start coming down again. Not by the exact days, but we can have a very good measure of when the markets are going to move higher and lower. This allows us to keep our money in the game as the markets move higher, and it allows to take profits near the top when the markets are starting to slow down, because we don't want to sell too early and we don't want to sell too late. And the first thing we need to know about is this really boring looking chart. Okay, Bitcoin M2 growth year on year. This is a very, very crucial chart because it's the only thing right now that drives the value of Bitcoin higher or lower. The Bitcoin halving is a fallacy. It doesn't mean anything anymore. It meant something for the first 2 cycles, but now it doesn't mean anything, okay? It doesn't have enough of an impact on the supply entering the markets. This blue line is the one we want to pay attention to because this blue line is called global M2 money supply in US dollars. And you can see it's heading towards $108 trillion. And Bitcoin is the closest asset that is linked to this money supply, okay? 86% correlation, in fact. You can see that at the top of the bull market in 2018, the peak of the M2 money supply came just after that M2 sold off. And then you can see we have a run up. We have a bit of a dip in COVID. We then have an M2 money supply again after the peak of the crypto bull market. What does that tell us? It tells us that the crypto bull market will peak before the M2 money supply. And for all those people who are like coming to videos like this and saying, oh, there's going to be, another sell-off first and we're not entering into a bull market yet, this is why you're wrong. The M2 money supply is significantly higher right now compared with where the Bitcoin price is. Bitcoin is about to start catching up to match it. Remember, 86% correlated. And you can see the growth is starting to build. Why is the growth building? Well, China, the second biggest economy in the world, has just created a $1.4 trillion stimulus plan to dig themselves out of a bit of a debt issue. Not only that, but it's come at a time when they're starting to make trading available to Hong Kong residents. Hong Kong is now obviously a part of the People's Republic of China, and a lot of wealthy investors in China are now moving their money to Hong Kong to invest in crypto. And this is the US money supply surging towards the upside. We know things are about to get good. And you can see correlates pretty nicely with this chart. So have I given you enough charts? Well, we need to zoom out a little bit and look at this one. This one comes from Jason Pizzino, who has a great YouTube channel worth checking out. This is the 18.5-year housing market cycle, where basically every 18.5 years, you have a crazy blow off top where everything goes bananas. Okay, we're about to run into that one now. The last one of these hit in 2007. After that, we had the financial crisis, which is pretty much what that was. And then you can see we then restarted again, 2011, up until 2020 was the last kind of major bull market run. We then had the bear market. We've then been building into this bull market, which of course will be the biggest one because of the way liquidity markets work. But look, the collapses come in 2025 and 2026, which is important because remember, the M2 money supply will top out after the top of the bull market. Therefore, we need to know right now that the M2 money supply will keep running, and we need to know once it's run enough when we need to start getting out. But I get it, that might be tricky. So how do we know when that might be happening? Well, right now, we're not anywhere near close to seeing a Bitcoin bull market top. And I'm going to show you exactly where we are when we move on to the second part. But just to conclude the first part, simply know that we're in a bull market that will finish sometime in 2025. And the major macro news associated with that, showing that the M2 money supply is blowing up and exploding towards the upside, coinciding with the growth in the crypto market, could be a good indicator that maybe things are starting to overheat a bit. But of course, back to this, I haven't featured this for months on the channel, but guys, it is the most crucial thing in this entire crypto bull market, because throughout this bull market you're going to see various different coins pumping and dumping, but the overall crypto market that you need to pay attention to is all driven by this, the Wall Street cheat sheet. And we can tell exactly where we are right now by using this in conjunction with something over on Twitter. And this is the something over on Twitter. It's called the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. And typically when we're nearing the top of a Bitcoin bull market, you can see this number going up to around 90, maybe even up to 97, 98, which is one of the biggest sell indicators that you can find. So why is it a sell indicator when everyone's being greedy? Well, when everyone's being greedy, it means that all the dumb money who are typically driven by emotion are trying to enter into the market. Typically, those people have less money than the smart money who entered earlier on and starting to pull their money out as the dumb money continues to enter. And eventually, the number of buyers is outweighed by the number of sellers, and eventually you'll have a market top. And if you look back to the 1600s, this is inevitable in anything. The market is always front run by smart money who look at the trends and identify what's coming. You then have kind of the smarter people, the media attention coming in, and then that drives up to a point at which everything is overvalued. And this is talking about tulips in the Netherlands, flower bulbs that went up to a crazy amount. And you're like, yeah, but this crypto coin has this utility and this has got this community. Guys, crypto is speculative. What does that mean? It means that all of these crypto projects shouldn't really have multi-billion-dollar market caps right now. Okay, the value that they're bringing in is incredibly small compared to the value that is locked in their share price. If you think about some layer ones out there with like $4 billion market caps that are making like less than $1 million a day, it's like you going and spending $1 million on a restaurant that makes like 20 cents a day. It's ludicrous, okay? These crypto coins are way too overinflated, which means they will always come down aggressively no matter how good it sounds. So right now, where are we? Well, I think that because of what we've seen recently, the whole market has been a bit like, well, we're not going to go higher. We're all going down to 40K. And then that's suddenly gone quiet. We're all now anticipating the next move higher, which means, in my opinion, we've moved from disbelief into the hope stage of this rally. Okay, the hope stage followed by this kind of crazy thing. The euphoria phase is what you need to be wary of, because that sucks you in and makes you do really stupid stuff like remortgaging your house to go and buy crypto, or selling all your stuff to go and buy crypto, and then, you know, everything blows up in your face. So how do we know when this phase kicks in? Well, there's a few different ways to understand this. Now, guys, if you're enjoying this video so far, something slightly different to normal, make sure you smash that like button. If you're new to the channel and you want some more direct, more informative information that isn't just going to shill a bunch of coins to you at any given point, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and I'll keep you up to date with what is going on. And I'll probably indicate to you the time when I'm taking profits towards the top of this bull market. Because right now, I continue to ape every penny I have into this market, anticipating what comes next. And next week, I'm going to talk about small cap gems on the base chain, which has been absolutely raging right now because I think there's some winners to be found. So make sure you subscribe and don't miss that one. So anyway, what happens during this phase of the market? Well, obviously by this point, you get the media attention. The media attention is about to hit as soon as Bitcoin hits the all-time highs, at which point all of your friends who might have traded a bit of Bitcoin in the past and maybe bought some crypto before, or maybe have never tried it before, are about to start asking you how to get into crypto. And at this point, you're going to see a massive influx of people. Now, this website shows you that massive influx of people coming into the space. This is called viewstats.com, and you can use it to spy on other YouTube channels. Now, why would I do that? Well, like I said, during the last bull market, my terrible YouTube channel got good views because lots of people were coming into the space and they didn't know what good content was. Altcoin Daily consistently makes one video every single day about the latest crypto news. They're a fairly standard channel that if you're new to crypto, you're probably going to go and give a follow or at least watch a few videos. Therefore, you can see their views and how they correlate to the crypto markets. Back in March, when we saw a pump towards the upside, they got 6.9 million views. You can see we had a sell-off in the market. Their views dropped all the way down. You can see their subscriber count in March was much higher, new ones. Then this dropped down, and then you can see we had the bottom July, August, and now we're starting to see a pickup in price again. This is all shown in view stats. And this is Alex Becker's channel. You can see a month ago when crypto was down a bit, 163,000 views. Right now, market's getting better, 213,000 views. And yes, I have watched this video and it's what's inspired me to make this one. Some of the things I think he talks about are really relevant. Other things I kind of wanted to add on top of it. But look, in the last bull market, 1.6 million views. This was around the top of the crypto bull market. 15x in December, last chance. It's basically talking about the top of the crypto bull market. So if we know that attention is maximized at the top of a crypto bull market, this is a very good indicator when we want to start getting out. But what about individual coins? Well, what's going to happen to Bitcoin as soon as it breaks is it will start to run slightly higher, probably up to around 90, maybe even $100,000. Who knows if we have a pullback and then we continue, and just what level at which Bitcoin will stop. But I would assume it probably won't go a huge amount higher than 130 to 150 grand. But again, I don't really know because price predictions are just BS. But as soon as this happens, you have the Bitcoin dominance do something like this, which means the percentage of which Bitcoin makes up the crypto market as a whole starts to dip. And when that happens, you're going to have an altcoin season. You will then see a bunch of different altcoins start to rip towards the upside, some of which might do things like this. And all you've got to do during this period of time is sit on your hands. Stop trying to overthink things, because maybe there's like trades like Gala and you're going to be like, oh, I wish I bought Gala. And you're going to take money from another coin that is yet to pump because it's like sat here and then it does this. And you're going to take money from that coin when it's down here and you're going to try and buy the top of Gala and you're going to get chewed up on that one because Gala then goes and rips against you. So how do I know when one coin is nearing a top? Well, I've actually called this multiple times throughout this year. I said that Turbo was going to see a local top earlier in the year. I said that Casper was going to see a local top earlier in the year. How do I know that? Well, I actually talked a little bit about some different coins on videos that I made on YouTube. I even hinted that maybe Turbo was due to have a cool off sometime back in March, which was around here. Since then, it then pulled all the way back 67%. And you can argue, yes, it went significantly higher. I agree, it did, but wouldn't it have been great to take some profits here, wait for the kind of consolidation pattern to happen, where you can see this perfect shakeout happen. You see a nice little downtrend, it breaks away, it then puts in this neckline, and then it breaks beyond. You could have taken all of your money out here, or some of your money at least, and then got back into Turbo here and then ridden the rest of these gains if it's a coin that you're so passionate about. But anytime I make a video on any particular coin saying it's overheated, if people are down in the comments saying that I have no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm just like, and getting super personal and aggressive about me being sponsored by other projects to crap on one project or another, that's a very good indicator that a near top signal is in. Why? Because if everyone is on that video right now telling me that they're already in Casper or Turbo or whatever that coin happens to be, then who else is left to get into that coin at this time in the market? What we're about to see in the next phase is a lot of new people enter into the market, which does make it a bit more confusing. But there will come times because lots of these coins will rally really, really strongly. And after they rally really, really strongly, everyone starts to talk about them. Everyone's going, I'm getting into Turbo, hold Turbo. Go and read the comments down below. this is a good indicator that maybe it's time to get out of any good coin, okay? And all you simply need to see is every chart out there. This is a meme coin. It went up really hard, it comes down. Gala is a gaming token. It went up really hard, and then guess what? It came down really hard. But this top will only typically come in when Alex Becker and everyone else out there is getting millions of views, okay? When my YouTube channel is blowing up to 500,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers, that's usually an indicator that the top is close for various different altcoins. So be very, very damn cautious of any coin that everyone starts to talk about at any point. And here's a great website you can look at. It's called lunacrush.com. You can see right now, these are the trending topics over on Twitter. Weirdly, you got celebrities, technology, and then US elections in third. I would have thought US elections would be higher. And you've got cryptocurrency down in 9. I guarantee that when cryptocurrency hits full-blown bull market top, it will be #1 trending here. You will also see Coinbase, the most downloaded app on the Apple Store. You'll also see Binance, the most downloaded app on the Apple Store. You'll then see Logan Paul and Mr. Beast and all your favorite celebrities launching NFTs, launching meme coins, launching new crypto projects. We saw it back in March. We're going to see it again in a bigger, more aggressive way. But this next time won't be just a mid-cycle correction. It will be a crazy blow off top. So when you start to see people who don't belong in crypto coming into crypto, that's probably around the time you want to be getting out of the space. Once you start to see big banks like JP Morgan or Citibank coming in and saying that Bitcoin will likely hit $1 million by this day, get the F out. The only reason they're telling you that is because they need people to sell their crypto to. And they tell you that to buy because they want to get billions of dollars out of crypto without dumping the price too hard, too quickly. But there's only so many times you can keep selling before that price starts to pull back. So yes, have goals before this bull market starts and anticipate that you can see 5 to 10x in your crypto net worth over the coming months if you're smart about it. But the best thing to do is have high conviction in your coins now by doing good amounts of research. I made a portfolio video the other day that you can go and check out if you want to see the coins I'm holding. Then I'll continue to hold these coins until I get significant reason not to hold them. For example, everyone's telling me to buy them. That's usually a good indicator for me to sell. Now, guys, I appreciate it's a lot to take on and it still might seem overwhelming, but don't worry. If you are subscribed to this channel throughout this bull market, I'm going to keep my finger on the pulse of what everyone's talking about, and I'm not going to be scared to tell you that the markets are overheated. And I'll be paying attention to all the comments and listening to the things that are being said so that I know exactly when we're heading towards the top of the bull market, and I will tell you when that is the case. So make sure, guys, that you're subscribed. Now, if you want to find out some smaller cap crypto gems that you're not hearing about on YouTube or anywhere else, then guys, I've got a solution for you. Join my crypto masterclass, which is happening tomorrow. It's an exclusive masterclass that's happening away from YouTube. It's absolutely free to join, and we have a few more spaces available. So if you want to get involved in that, simply go down below on this page. It's linked down below. It's called the houseofcrypto.io Crypto Mastery. Leave your first name, last name, email address, and any crypto related questions that you want handled. Myself and 2 other crypto experts who are working full-time in crypto are going to show you some secret methods to identify some small cap gems. There just might be a couple of 50 to 100x coins featured on that video. Guys, I've got a sweat on. It's time to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you tomorrow in another video. Bye-bye.